Let me set the scene for you. After I realized that I wasn't going to make it to the NBA, I took up golf and I began to play competitively. And after I shot my best round ever in tournament, I found myself in third place and playing with the leaders in the final group. I step up to my first tee shot. My heart's just beating out of my chest. I can't feel my arms. I'm trying to visualize the last shot on the range, which I hit perfectly. And I step up to my golf ball and I hit it about 15 feet in front of me. Travis Fredborg, who I had the chance to catch up with today, was in that same group. And after he smashed his drive down the middle, he reassured me that I was going to be all right and proceeded to shoot a bogey free 66 to win the tournament to my 83. I realized rather quickly that I wasn't going to be playing on the PGA Tour anytime soon. After graduating from the University of Arizona, Travis is now beginning his journey as a touring professional golfer. We chat about the differences between university and professional golf, the psychology of playing for your paycheck, and the one word swing thought that he applies to the rest of his life. Here is a conversation with Travis Fredborg. So I am now joined with Travis Fredborg, a Selkirk, Manitoba native who is now plying his trade in the Valley of the Sun, Arizona. Travis, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I know with quarantine hitting the basketball community really hard, a lot of guys have taken to golf as a competitive outlet. And some guys have looked at me as asking like, "Oh, like you must be like you're a good golfer. Like, how close are you to playing professionally?" And I have friends like yourself, and I'm like, guys, it's just not even close. There's just another level to it. So I'm looking forward to kind of unpacking just a little bit what it's like to be a professional golfer, a touring professional golfer. The first question I had was, you went to school at the University of Arizona, correct?
Yes, I did.
So collegiate golf is an interesting experience because you're playing as a team,
Yeah.
but how many guys are on the roster and how many guys get to play in tournaments?
Yeah. So a typical team usually has between 10 and 12 guys on it, but then five travel to every event. So there's a lot of competitive juices going between the boys during qualifying and whatnot. And then once we get to events, each day we take the top four scores out of our five guys, and that's our team score for the day. And then we play 3 rounds of that. But then inside of that, there's an individual tournament going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's essentially like you're in two of them at the same time, which kind of gets a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that'd be it's similar to I guess the the basketball player, like the team sport athlete, that they're all kind of pulling towards the same goal but competing for playing time.
Yeah.
Um, is there how do you guys balance the wanting to be one of the five guys that are playing week in and week out with the fact that only five guys can, but you also want team success?
Yeah. See that I think that just comes with kind of pushing each other, and we're all. I mean, everybody. I mean, same with you. Everybody is competitive, right? Everybody
Mhm.
wants to win. Everybody wants to be the best, and being surrounded by 10, 11 guys with a common goal, it just makes it that much easier. It's that much easier to get better, I should say. Just day in, day out, you're playing with some of the best players in the country, and it's
Mhm.
it's just fun because it gets you going, gets the competitive juices going. So then when you do get in a tournament, you're so ready just playing competitively with the guys every day that it's like it's just another round of golf, and that's kind of what you got to try to keep it at.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And you guys are at Arizona, like one of the top programs in the country, kind of year over year, correct?
yeah, we're usually a pretty solid team, whether it be top 30, top 20, top 10. I know the boys right now. I think actually the best ranking we got up to with me on the team was eighth,
Okay.
and then right now the boys are actually four, so they're really
Oh,
really good
geez.
this year.
Yeah, like that's and like all 10. How many of the guys from like your roster, or how many teammates would you have had that are trying to play professionally now?
Yeah, every one of them,
Everyone. Yeah,
everyone,
it's
pretty much. You get the odd exception where there's maybe just somebody that I don't know finds something else that they like, whether it be in school or something like that. But 99% of the time, everybody's got a common goal. Everybody's going to at least give it a try and just try
mhm.
to get better every day. So,
So you made the jump last summer, correct?
yes, at the end of last summer, and it was obviously very exciting. But if I would have known all this COVID stuff, I might have waited a bit longer. So,
No kidding.
or
Um,
or went earlier, one of the two.
yeah, one of the two. I guess like for the person who's just watching that doesn't follow golf to past the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
You just said that yet all of your teammates are going to try to play professional golf, like touring wise.
Yeah.
How many guys are going to, or first of all, try to explain, because you explain it better than I can, the three tour system, or the three level system of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, so that's if one word to describe it is an absolute grind. That's for sure. It's tough. I mean, because if you're not a top 10 player coming out of college, like not on your team, like in the country, so if you're not one of those guys, you're not really going to get sponsors exemptions. People aren't looking at you as much. So like everybody has to start on the Canadian tour, the Latin tour, or the China tour, all like the PGA Tour affiliates, and just work your way up. And I mean, that starts with going through a pre-qualifier, then to a qualifier, and then there's 3 rounds of that. And then if you don't get status, then you got nothing. And it just kind of keeps building and building. So it's a mental grind and a physical grind. But I mean, the cream usually rises to the top. So hopefully you just kind of keep plugging away and work it all the way up.
Do you know about like the average length of time guys would spend on, say, the Canadian Tour?
So again, I mean, it all just depends how you play, right? I mean, a lot of guys that go on the Canadian tour and have success right away, but then they're back in a few years, where there's some guys that play the Canadian tour for 10 plus years and stay steady, but then gradually just keep getting better and better and better. So I'd say, I mean, on average, probably like 4 to 5 years, and then you kind of gradually start working your way up, but everybody's different. So you just got to take your breaks when you get them.
And obviously, you don't have a ton of professional starts. You accumulated a few more in the fall now,
Yeah.
but compared to team sports, like again, I have friends that are playing professional basketball overseas or professional volleyball. They're guaranteed like a contract. They have a salary. They may not get a second contract, but for that year, they're good.
Yeah.
What's kind of the psychology? What's going through your head when you're stepping up on the tournament of a tee and realizing, if I don't play well enough, and it's like a really high level just to make cuts, that not only am I not making very much money, I could go the whole week not making money.
Yeah, absolutely. That is it's a weird feeling, but it's also, I mean, it's kind of good and bad, because I mean, you've put yourself in a position where, look, all right, this is my life now. Like, oh, this has always been my dream, and it's exciting. It's nerve wracking, but at the same time, you can only do that for so long. So, I mean, hopefully you kind of get going, you get some people backing you, and playing golf with that thought on your mind is not fun.
Mhm.
Not by any means. I mean, when you're playing and you have a 5 foot putt on 18, and it's like, all right, this could be rent for the month, or this could be whatever, right? It's kind of crazy. It's very shocking at the start, but you kind of get used to it, and then you kind of build yourself a little bank account. So then you work your way off that. And then that's when you kind of need people helping you out. So that's not the case. So hopefully don't have to do it for that long.
And the other aspect, especially about the Canadian tour, is the fact that a lot, like you're traveling, or you're very much like alone.
Yeah.
You look at professional golf on TV and guys have caddies. It's kind of like a team, or they'll have like their swing coach with them all the time. How what in what ways do you keep yourself? I guess the best word is keep yourself sane while spending all the time alone. Like knowing that it's all kind of on you, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, so that's a great question. That's one I actually really wanted to dive in on, because one of the biggest jumps from college golf to professional golf is you're now alone, right? You're not traveling with the team. Coaches aren't taking care of everything. Like in college, it was 4 years of coach books the flights, gets the hotels, you land, he buys food, he does this. It's, oh, you want to go to the beach? Okay, you just jump in the car. Like they take care of everything. And then my first event as a pro, I was like, man, I gotta book my flight. I gotta get my hotel. I gotta figure out a rental car. Like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna do? Like, who am I staying with? How can I cut costs in any way possible? And it's like, man, that was a very big mental battle for me to jump over, and it took a lot to get used to. But I kind of got it down pat now, kind of finding the cheapest ways to get around and traveling with people and whatnot. But yeah, that really gets you big time, and it's tough being alone, being gone for 4 or 5 weeks at a time. You're not sleeping in your own bed. You're crashing in your car some nights. Like, who knows, right? Just anything to kind of get to that next event, and hopefully that's the one that changes your life. So.
And I guess you guys would be kind of like a band of brothers out on the tour, eh?
Oh yeah, see, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you go there and you play practice rounds with some guys, you meet a bunch of guys, and next thing you know, you're traveling with them, you're hanging out, you're going for dinner that night. It's nice. You meet a lot of good guys, all chasing a common goal. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun to be around.
One thing in golf that we have is swing thoughts. Usually they're little phrases, maybe a sentence that we use before we hit a shot to get us in the right frame of mind or remind us of a technical thing that we've been working on. And what I was just wondering was, do you have anything that is right now is kind of guiding you in terms of like a swing thought for life? These a short kind of anecdote or a phrase that's kind of keeping you going.
Um, like as in like something I combine between like golf and life in general.
Yeah.
Um, One thing, I mean, I guess I say to myself a lot every day is I just say commit is just simple and effective. It's before every single golf shot, every putt, whether it be on the range, practice facility, in a tournament, final round of the Masters. The one thing I say right before I pull the trigger is just commit. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's all you can do at this point. Just give it your best, give it your all, and that's kind of something I kind of do in everyday life, whether it be waking up and going to the gym. It's like, all right, you know what, just commit to this workout, go get it done. You'll thank yourself after. Just commit to eating good, commit to being a good person. Just stuff like that in general is something I like to try to focus on.
What's no, it's actually it's funny you say that. That was one of my swing thoughts this year.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
my
love that. That's, I don't know, that's the one that gets me. It just gets me in the right headspace when I need to be.
what I love about it though is it's the fact that you and obviously I'm sure that you've thought of in terms of like golf, you have like think box, play box, you
Yeah.
stepping up to the ball, like that's but once you're over top of the golf ball, you just have to go. Like there's nothing else, there's no other preparation that you can have to get you to hit that shot.
Yeah. I mean, exactly that. Once you're over it, you're ready, just go. Because the longer you stay over it, the more your head starts creeping in and your hands tight up a little bit. And then, yeah, then it's nightmare fuel from there.
Nightmare. Yeah. No, and I love the relatability to just life in general. Like you get yourself into a situation and it's all right, I'm in the situation now, like let's just do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just do it at the best of your ability.
Last kind of serious question I have for you, and it's something I've talked with other people in interviews with both, and it's something I'm trying to practice a lot of is just gratitude. And I was just wondering if there's anything over the past, let's say 6 months, a year that really stands out to you that you can think of and like, man, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's very cliche, but just my support system, just everybody around me, especially in a tough time of COVID and all that. And trying to play professional golf is hard. There's not much going on. There's not much I could do to kind of make money or work, I guess. I mean, now that summer's over, especially. But yeah, just my family, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, just everybody, my brothers, the people back home that are helping me make this possible, just kind of sponsoring me day in, day out, always believing in me, and just kind of keeping me sane and confident. And that's it. Just simple. The support system. All my friends have my back. It's awesome. So thank you
I'm
to
a
all.
I'm a huge proponent of the fact that we should look at things that we write off as cliche to they're cliche for a reason. Like there's value in cliche. So I don't think um, you don't have to discount the fact that your support system
Oh,
is what you're grateful for because you think it's cliche.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, they're the reason I'm here. So something I'm grateful for every day, not just this past 6 months. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So the last thing, and you would have been prepared for this. We have the classic golf question of you're teeing it up tomorrow. You're allowed to pick any three people in the world as they currently are today, so not people in the past or people from a different era.
Yeah.
Who are the other three people that are making up your foursome?
I am going with Tiger Woods, of course,
Yep.
and then I'm gonna go with my dad, and then Bobby Orr, because
Ooh.
that's my dad's idol. So both of our idols in one group
Yeah, yeah.
can't beat it.
That's a good foursome there. I think I
Yeah.
was thinking about myself. I too would have Tiger because I'm just fascinated.
You
Um,
can't not have Tiger.
Yeah, I love the tailor-made videos of like all the guys like doing their like demo days,
Yeah,
and
and they're all
then
different, all of them.
and Jason Day, they're asking Jason Day asked him like about hitting his like knockdown wedge and he's like, man, I just slow it way down. I just feel it in the hands. And then Jason Day like looks around. He's like, can you ever just speak in a way that we can understand?
We're like, Tiger, nobody knows what you're saying. Speaking English.
Yeah. So I'd have Tiger. I'd have Steph, Steph Curry.
Okay.
And then the the added one. This is probably Kyle, like my buddy from Rossby there, because I think there'd be a good 2v2, and I'd have another chance to win another breakfast off of them. So,
Absolutely, I love that. I love it.
all right, man, I'm gonna let you get on your way. I appreciate you stepping on, and for all those years ago showing me that I was not gonna be playing on the PGA Tour in my future.
Hey, I mean, I'm sorry I had to do it, but trying to get better, you know the drill.
Absolutely.
All
Have a
right,
great
man.
rest of the day, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. That was fun.
Beautiful.